Gabriel Garcia Marquez was born on March 6, 1927, in the town of Aracataca, Colombia. Oddly enough, some of his works are set in the fictional village called Macondo, which seems to be highly similar and maybe even inspired by Aracataca. His parents left, but he stayed behind and was raised by his maternal grandparents. At the age of 9, his grandfather died and he had to move back to live with his parents. His father, Eligio, was a conservative and had the reputation of being a womanizer. Because Gabriel grew up with his grandparents rather than his normal parents, his grandfather had a huge impact on his development. His grandfather would occasionally tell his young grandson, "You can't imagine how much a dead man weighs," reminding him that there is no greater burden than to have killed a man, a lesson that Garcia Marquez would later integrate into his novels. He was never told fairy tales or any magical stories by his grandfather, but rather was always told about the last war or the cold reality of the world. His grandmother influenced on a much more spiritual side. She treated the extraordinary as something perfectly natural. The house was filled with stories of ghosts and premonitions, omens, and portents, all of which were studiously ignored by her husband, Garcia's grandfather, because he did not believe in such a supernatural view of reality. Due to the strange combination of realism from his grandfather and the magic supernaturalism from his grandmother, he became popularized in the literary style labeled as magic realism, which uses magical elements and events in otherwise ordinary and realistic situations. Obviously, Gabriel was known for more than simply being a magic realist, as he developed a plethora of writings. Garcia began his career as a journalist while studying law at the National University of Colombia. Throughout his years, he has written many acclaimed non-fiction works and short stories, but is best known for his novels such as 100 Years of Solitude, Autumn of the Patriarch, and The Love in the Time of Cholera. He even acquired a reputation as a child by being a shy boy who wrote humorous poems and drew cartoons. So serious and non-athletic was he that he was nicknamed the Old Man by his classmates. Gabriel states that he feels that all his writing has been about the experiences of the time he spent with his grandparents. Through these writings, he managed to win a Nobel Prize in 1982, a year after his writing of the Chronicles of a Death Foretold. The theme of solitude runs through much of Garcia Marquez's work. As once noted, Love in the Time of Cholera, like all of Gabriel Garcia Marquez's works, explores the solitude of the individual and of humankind, portrayed through the solitude of love and of being in love. Gabriel was asked by Plinio Mendoza, "If solitude is the theme of all your books, where should we look for the roots of this overriding emotion? In your childhood, perhaps?" As to which Garcia replied with, "I think it's the problem everyone has. Everyone has his own way and means of expressing it. The feeling pervades the work of so many writers, although some of them may express it unconsciously." What a loner.